Let's return now to Paris and the fate of the fire-ravaged Notre Dame Cathedral. CNN correspondent Jim Bitermann is on the line now. Jim, tell me, what does it look like now, the cathedral?
Well, Lisa, the flames have been extinguished. There's still hot pockets, according to the fire officials who've been able to get inside now. And in fact, they declared it under control at about 3:30 this morning local time. It's now about 8:30, so about 5 hours ago. In any case, what started this morning is that there are experts going through the building that are going to see exactly how damaged the infrastructure of the cathedral is. In fact, the roof collapsed about, according to some estimates, about 2/3 of the roof collapsed, and maybe even more than that. That was basically damaged. This roof was supported by what they called the forest, which was 1,300 oak trees were felled when the original construction back in the 12th century, when they were originally building the roof of Notre Dame. And in fact, 1,300 oak trees were felled, and those oak trees was what went up so furiously in flames last night. So it's basically now a question of assessment of what can be saved and what can be what has been lost, and then also I think assessment of exactly how this started. They've already started questioning some of the workers who were doing the renovation projects on the roof, and they've been asking exactly what may have been the the cause of this fire. That's something that's going to be on the minds of a lot of people. And the prosecutor of Paris has apparently ruled out any kind of criminal intent. He's started an investigation for an accidental start of the fire. So they apparently rule out any kind of criminal intent. But in any case, it's something that will take a couple of days here, but they're going to be going through it very thoroughly. And then the reconstruction last night, President Macron said very, very seriously and very directly that Notre Dame will be rebuilt. He said it's our destiny to rebuild Notre Dame, and he vowed that it will be rebuilt. But that's a process that architectural folks were saying this morning that could take decades. So it may be a long, long time before Notre Dame is restored to the shape that it was in that we all remember.
Jim, we are seeing now a live picture. We can see the scaffold up from obviously the previous renovation and some of the charring to the building. I'm just wondering, because we could also earlier see the firefighters battling away there. What about fire control? Does the thing have sprinklers or what? Why was it so difficult?
Well, there was not a sprinkler system involved, according to officials, but the rector of the cathedral, in fact, said that every day the oak supporting beams in the attic of the cathedral were inspected by fire officials every single day, because I guess there were concerns about exactly this sort of thing happening. But despite that, this fire, which broke out somewhat after closing time last night, about 10 minutes to 7 p.m. local time last night, apparently took everyone by surprise. And I don't think anyone had an idea that it was going to be this hard to fight. The fire department in Paris has fire boats in the rivers, and of course the river runs right next to Notre Dame, and they have long ladders and trucks that can extend water up high. But in fact, because of the situation of Notre Dame, it was very difficult to address exactly the spot where the flames began, which was sort of in the center of the roof. So, no, it was a tough fight for the firemen. There was one fireman badly injured, but everybody in Paris, every fireman in Paris, was basically committed to this last night. Every single firehouse was involved. 400 firemen that were involved fighting this fire. So they tried their best, but the fact is that a good deal of the cathedral has now been lost.
And how have Parisians been reacting to it?
Well, this is everyone, I think, feels a very personal connection to this. I've lived here 40 years, and when I first came here, the first 7 years I was here, I lived across the street from the back gardens of Notre Dame, and that was my local parish. And in fact, my daughter was baptized in the center of the cathedral. So I feel a very close connection to it. But also, I think that anybody who ever visited this, and includes the 13 million or so tourists that come to it every year,